Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
What's a Blerd? That's a black guy who's also a nerd. Reading comics, watching anime. Haven't you heard? It's Jeremy J and Miriam talking to Delirium. Naruto, then Marvel, then DC. Are you hearing him? Pop culture reference pull them out periodically. We sync up movies with the comics canonically, and we watch a lot of TV. It's our virtual reality. I guarantee one day we'll have a TV show on NBC.
Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
It's the Blerd Survival Guide. It's the Blerd Survival Guide. And there we have it.
Welcome back, everybody!
Welcome to another episode of Blerd Survival Guide. I am your host, Jeremy.
I'm your co-host, Jay.
And this is episode 9 of Blerd Survival Guide. Jay, how are you doing today?
Bro, I'm doing pretty good. I'm happy to be here. How are you?
I'm awake. I got some good sleep.
You got some good sleep?
I got some good sleep, man.
The night shift didn't take too much out of you?
It did, because I had to almost work by myself for like the last hour. But we're not going to talk about that. It's okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah, everybody decided to leave early.
Well, I'm honestly thinking about joining the Amazon family because your boy needs a full-time job. So
hey.
I'm low-key thinking about it.
We welcome you with open arms.
I bet you would. But, I'm doing pretty good. Today's a weird day.
Well, do you want to say why it's weird? Or?
Yeah, of course.
What's going on in your life?
Well, it's Mother's Day.
It is, yes.
We record on Sundays, for those who don't know. We record on Sundays, edit on Monday, release by Tuesday.
So today that you're listening to us 2 days after we recorded, which is Mother's Day.
Hello, people of the future.
Yes, happy Mother's Day and happy Future Tuesday to all of our listeners. But happy Mother's Day today that we are recording this to all of our mothers. And mamas and babies mamas.
And mamas.
But other than that, yeah, what?
Well, yeah, today's weird because this is the first Mother's Day that I have had without my grandmother who raised me.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, man, and it's definitely been a weird week where I've had to do a lot of thinking and I'm missing and just grieving, and then I don't have a great relationship with my birth mother, so it's been one of those times where I've had to grapple with a lot of feelings. And how else do I grapple with my feelings but immersing myself in cartoons where the mothers are practically the best models of motherhood that I could think of, outside of course, my grandmother.
Hey, and that's probably a good way to honor her and a good way for us to transition into today's episode, which is some awesome cartoon moms that we all grew up with way back when we did Saturday morning cartoons, when we didn't have all these streaming services and could binge watch. We had to wait weekly to take some motherly advice from some of these mothers.
From Nickelodeon to Cartoon Network to Disney Channel. TV cartoon moms specifically hold a special place in my heart. They 100% contributed to my growth and development as a child, and helped me survive some of the hardest moments in my childhood, I think.
Hey, that's awesome, man. I'm 98% positive that you aren't the only one,
right?
But also, I'm happy that we do have you here to give us a firsthand experience of what it was like having with you being at your age. You're my age. We're both mid-20s. But you grew up, me specifically, I grew up with my mom. It was a single mom and my sister. So I grew up in a house full of women. You grew up with grandparents.
Right.
So you grew up with an older generation.
Exactly. It's a bit different upbringing than you, but
definitely.
Also with its own unique set of challenges.
Right. Because there's points where of course they were taking care of you, but then it got to a point where vice versa, you had to start taking care of them.
Right.
And
for sure.
That
definitely happened.
And to me, from an outsider looking in, shows me who you are as a person today as well, with you being a social worker and your loving self
lessons were taught, lessons were learned. I'm very grateful for the upbringing that I've had and the motherhood that was imparted upon my life.
Right.
Because I mean, without them, without the mothers that have impacted my life, without my grandmother, without my aunt, without my just various mother figures throughout my life, I wouldn't be where I am.
Yeah, I totally get that, and I feel the same way. I mean, we'll probably talk about it on the Father's Day episode too. It's just like I grew up you growing up with your community of mothers. I had to grow up with a community of father figures.
Right.
I mean, like I said,
similar, same.
Yeah, so you and I have only recently connected with our birth fathers.
Yeah.
But I mean, we both had to grow up with a community of fathers as well. But that's not today's episode, though.
No.
Today's episode, we're talking about the cartoon mamas.
We're talking about the mamas.
The mamas and the mamas.
Yeah, man.
But like, who would you say? And we don't have to go through. We're going to go through our lists in a couple of minutes.
We've come up with a couple of lists of top 5 favorite moms and top 5, like, in our opinion, worst moms, like, in cartoons.
And these are strictly our opinions. If you agree with us, awesome.
Yeah,
if you have your own opinions, let us know in our comments on our social media factors. But before we get to the list, who would you say, just offhand, what mom on TV helped you with your upbringing, cartoon wise?
The mom that I think that brought me up the most, and I mean, maybe she's not a mom in like the most traditional sense,
right?
Miss Frizzle.
Okay.
Miss Frizzle. She's hard mom vibes. Like,
she give off heavy mom energy.
Like, she's crazy. She's wild. She's your teacher, but she also was like and then I guess we technically find out by virtue of there being a new Miss Frizzle.
Right.
She was a mom, And
well, no, they're sisters.
They're sisters.
Yeah, they are sisters. But they both. The OG Miss Frizzle that we grew up with, that we watched at school during like library and science and all that. That Miss Frizzle, she gave off hella mom energy.
Right.
I mean, you had to protect these kids. You had to. I mean,
nurture them,
and you're also teaching them. And I mean, that's shout out to teachers as well,
right.
Female teachers especially. I mean, which is heavily. I mean, it's a heavy female occupation.
Yes, female dominated field.
But shout out to the female teachers. And I mean, you see those in cartoons as well, where like you have the one student who's like really attached to a teacher, and you have that one episode where they accidentally called the teacher mom.
Oh yeah,
and I used to see those all the time, like in recess.
I lived it, lived experience. Right,
I do remember. Yeah, you told me about that.
I have been the person to be like, oh, thanks, mom. Like, just because it was like that kind of behavior, or I associated it that deeply with like a maternal link to that individual or to that teacher, that I was like, thanks, mom.
Basically, and it's not even in a sarcastic way. It's like it's one of those. It's like a Freudian slip, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
For lack of a better term, I would call it a Freudian slip.
Yeah, that I mean, you just like you feel that deeper connection with. I mean, you have that similar connection that you would have with a mother. For those who don't have mothers or an actual like mother figure in their life, you would connect it with teachers, and I can see why Miss Frizzle would be a strong advocate for like a mom position,
right?
Because I mean, she like I said, she's taking care of those kids, taking them on field trips, teaching them, literally just making them better people in the world.
Exactly. And I mean, that's off the top. So like thinking deeper, I could find another one, but like off top. Miss Frizzle had mad mom energy. This is
OG Miss Frizzle, because new Miss Frizzle, I mean, I watched the first season of the Netflix Magic School Bus. She gives off auntie energy.
It's different.
It is different. I mean, it probably is for this generation, but it is different.
Well, like Miss Frizzle really just knew those kids. Like those were her kids.
Oh yeah,
man.
Oh yeah.
Like every last one of them. Every last one.
Yeah, no. At that point, I mean, even if they did have the certain episodes where you would see the parents of each individual kid, but still, it was just like, nah, those are Miss Frizzle's kids, straight up. If you would see that group of people, it would either be Miss Frizzle's kids or the Captain Planet team. But on my end, if I had to think of one offhand, and this is probably one of the newer TV shows, but also, I mean, it still gets me. And she's also not a mom figure, or she's not an actual mom, but she gives off mom
energy.
Yeah, big mom energy. Garnet from Steven Universe.
Right. I hear that,
and
yeah, man, I fully support. I mean, well, like Yeah, she is a mom. Like, she's for real. Like, she gives Steven mama love.
Oh, yeah.
Without a doubt.
Oh, yeah. I mean, all three of them do. Garnet, Amethyst, and
all of the gems
Pearl.
Do.
Yeah, they do. But Garnet, she gives off that.
I like
and she gives off that unapologetically black mom love. And it's just like, I'm going to talk to you. Even though I'm this tall, statuesque Amazonian figure, I'm going to kneel down to your level. I'm going to kiss on your forehead. I'm going to give you all the sweet lovings that you deserve. Because you don't have a mom, your mom is not with us anymore. Right. So I have to be that support for you. And it's just like, it reminds me of my mom, honestly. It's just
as a biracial man, I grew up in a primarily white dominated household. Mm-hmm. But I would go to church, and there would be, and I grew up in a Catholic church, so also not a heavily influenced religion by the black community, at least where I was going to church.
Right.
But there were these few black women in the church, and it's been forever since I've seen them, and I don't really remember their names, but they adopted me in the church.
Black women in the church. That's a whole nother. That's another mom vibe.
Black mama. I mean, they really wanted me to feel loved by them, and they wanted to make sure that I knew that it was black love.
Oh yeah.
And I still to this day I can see their faces. I can I want to hug them, but
come on over here, my little caramel drop. You're just so cute.
That's really kind of what it was, man. It really was like that. And when Grandma died, these women came out and really supported the funeral.
So were they at the funeral?
Well, they were at the funeral, and they were also working in the luncheon that was hosted afterwards.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I mean, that is awesome. I would like to talk about that more, but we need to scooch on over to our rankings. We're gonna start off with the greatest. Well, yeah, our interpretation of the greatest moms in cartoon TV history. Jay, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm happy to go first.
Okay.
So coming in at number 5, and I mean, I kind of had a little time to order them, and I took into account, how much I enjoyed watching them, how much I remembered them, how much, when going through this list of women, how they impacted my life. And whatnot. I got one for you that you might not have thought of.
Okay.
Dr. Ann Possible. Kim Possible's mom.
Yeah.
This woman was an utter badass. She had held multiple degrees, held it down for the fam, and was a doctor
that
at the
whole
same
house
time.
Was
well, yeah, they were. It was a house.
She was a
full
neurosurgeon.
Exactly.
She was a She brought brains home for dinner.
Boy, right? She was doing the most. She was being the mom, having twins, having Kim, and making sure that her family was held down. There was a woman that I grew up with that was very similar to her, and this woman just was a day one for her family, and as well as a career-driven woman. Number 4.
Okay.
Madam Foster.
Ooh.
From Foster Homes from Imaginary Friends. Ooh. Madam Foster was the OG grandma mom of the
yes, sir.
Of the imaginary friends and the kids that created them.
Yeah, their former owners.
She really, for lack of a better term, fostered an environment for them to have and live in and love and be loved.
Did you see the theory that Frankie may be an imaginary friend?
Yes, I did. I did see that because her grandmother, her granddaughter died.
Well, no, it was that's another one. But there's another theory that says that Madam Foster created Frankie because she was getting older in age.
Yeah, it was a younger version.
Yeah, it was basically a younger version of Madam Foster.
I completely endorse that. And so coming in at number 3, and I'm going across the pond over here to Japan, Hinata Hyuga / Uzumaki, who is Boruto's mom in the new anime, and I know it's different, and I hope people really get a chance to check it out, but she is, Hinata as a wife, first of all, to Naruto is top tier. You don't get any better, more down bitch than that for her man. And then that basically transfers to her family.
Right.
With Himawari and Boruto.
Oh, Himawari is so freaking adorable. And I'm slowly getting through Boruto, but I'm at I've passed an episode where Boruto accidentally ripped off the head of
The doll.
Himari's doll.
Yeah.
And she went full
Berserk.
Hyuga.
Berserk. Like, she straight up.
I never seen her like Boruto was just like.
Well, she's the youngest one, youngest child to ever have a Byakugan.
Yep.
And like she just went full apeshit on her brother, who
deserved it.
Who certainly deserved it. And then from then on, honestly, what you'll find is like respects Himawari so much more.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna defend her for not just her best interest, but for everybody's best interest. Because she's gonna.
I'm defending her for her, but also I'm gonna protect the village because if she go mad, it's gonna be over.
So coming into number 2, Trudy Proud.
Hey.
Trudy Proud. I think we both have this person on our list.
Oh yeah.
For multiple reasons.
Oh yeah.
Trudy Proud is the black and pickles, and has it 100 times harder, and still manages to be positive, uplifting, and inspirational for her family, bro. Like she has to deal with a crazy husband, a daughter who is going through her mid-teenage years.
Yeah, she's in high school during the
BB and Cece got twins. We've seen it all before. There's 3 kids in the house and a crazy husband. She trying to
and a crazy mother-in-law.
And a crazy mother-in-law, and she still manages to be the light in that family. Like she brings the love to the Proud family.
She's a veterinarian,
and she's a vet.
She loves the animals and she loves her family.
I'm saying like she got to come in at number 2. Really, she might be like this. It's interchangeable. My 1 and 2.
Okay.
Because my number 1 is Linda Belcher.
Linda Belcher, oh man, she is a
saint.
She is down for the cause all the way to the end.
She loves her babies.
She loves her baby. She loves her husband.
She loves the family. She loves the community. She really is all about.
She screams support.
Yes, supporting her children and everything anything that they want to do.
Oh yeah,
because I mean, let's face it, the Belcher kids are crazy, and. That's
kindly putting it.
Yes, and they come up with like crazy schemes that put them in crazy situations that Linda has to then,
especially Louise,
just cope with and help them cope with. Like on top of it, like the fact that these children haven't suffered any kind of bodily and like possibly like generationally trauma filled like issues, is because of Linda Belcher.
I mean, and that moves over to like Bob too, because I mean, there's one meme that I see all the time where it's just like they're both in bed. Bob is like, "Honey, wake up." It's like, "Honey, wake up! Someone's in the house." And she was like, "Oh, okay, cool. We're gonna murder somebody. Let's make sure we got a runaway plan, right?" It was like, "No, Linda, we're not gonna murder anybody." Oh, well, I was ready just in case. I was like, she was ready. She is ready.
Ready, bro. Like,
ready and supportive. She was ready for the call. She was like, I'm a ride or die till the end. We gonna Thelma and Louise this ish until we can't no more.
We watched that video, like Mojo, whatever they say. I mean, yes, the Linda Belcher comes in late to the game with cartoons, but so does Hinata. But I don't think that diminishes the impact that they have had on TV culture and our life.
She's been on. I mean, Bob's Burgers has been on TV for almost 12 years now. So I mean, she's a staple in the homes. Yeah,
that's near half my life.
Exactly.
That's near half my life. So I mean, my top 5 are what they are, and I hope people can understand why they are what they are. But if you have any kind of comments, concerns, or snide remarks, please put them in the comment box on our Instagram.
Please. Or DM us or anything like that. Let's see. My top 5. Switching on over to Jeremy's end of the bargain. We're going to say at number 5, Garnet.
Right.
Of course. We already discussed her. Yeah, she's mom energy through and through. Black mom energy through and through.
Right.
And I mean, she helped Steven through some tough times. She gave Steven future vision at one point in the episode.
So you're more versed in Steven Universe than I am.
Y'all need to watch Steven Universe. If you haven't watched Steven Universe,
it's a fantastic show, and I mean it has a lot of symbology that is great messaging for the next generation.
Chef's kiss, indeed. But number 4, bouncing off of your number 1, Linda.
Nice.
Actually, whoa, I'm sorry.
Excuse me.
Different Linda.
Swerve.
Linda Flynn Fletcher from Phineas and Ferb.
Linda Fletcher.
Yes.
Loves her kids.
And I mean, this is a blended family.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So this is a blended family. So she came in with 2 kids of her own, Phineas and Candace.
Right.
And then she fell in love with current husband. and
who had Ferb from a previous marriage.
Exactly.
You know, I never really thought about them being a blended family.
That's the thing. The creators didn't want you to think that. They just like...
So, they didn't have Ferb? I think I always thought they had Ferb.
Nope. They are...
What?
Ferb and...
has a different mom than Ferb
Ferb has a different mom. Phineas has a different dad.
What?
Yeah. Because there's always this big theory that Doofenshmirtz is Phineas and Candace's actual father. But the creator has always debunked that. He's like, no, that's not the original father. You're never going to meet the father. That's that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
But number 3, and this is a newer cartoon that I haven't seen yet, but I've seen multiple videos of this mom on Melanin Animated's Instagram page. And yeah, go check them out as well. But it's Nicole Williams from Craig of the Creek, and she is and this is honestly this is an unapologetically black cartoon TV show the new generation.
It is.
And there was a Halloween episode that they saw recently. I haven't, like I said, I have to watch this show all the way through. I've only seen a few episodes, but she, like, her Halloween costume is Missy Elliott's like inflatable
if you
suit.
Worked it,
yeah,
you work.
And like and she they killed it. It's it's so great. But also she's I saw a video of on Instagram of her and Craig, basically they had a fort together, and they didn't spend. It's because they hadn't spent time together a lot.
You know what I love about cartoons today?
What's that?
It's the fact that we have now gotten to a point that episodic cartoons are pretty much null and void, and we are on a fully linear storyline.
Yeah, and I think
and Craig of the Creek is like that. Yeah, Gravity Falls is like that.
Ooh, Gravity Falls.
Just like all of these shows that are newer that have like much more of a story arc rather and semi arcs too, rather than just the typical episodic week by week.
Right, it's like we'll have the story, then next week we're on something completely different.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with what we've been doing.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I got you. But no, it works.
I mean, it's worked for years. I mean, like the Japanese have been doing it since before it even came. That idea came to America, and they're doing it with cartoons.
But number two is Eudora from Princess and the Frog. Tiana's mom.
Tiana's mom.
She supports
her baby through
all the way up to the end of the movie.
So you went into movies.
Yeah, but it's a cartoon.
It is a cartoon. I stay TV cartoons. I'm just saying.
You're right.
But no.
But Eudora, like I said, like her mom and dad, like Tiana's mom and dad supported her from childhood, and it was just like you're going to have this restaurant one day. It's going to be Tiana's place. And then, I mean, even after her dad died in the war.
Almost there.
Exactly.
I'm almost there.
Like, they found a building. They made sure that, like, she was going.
I mean, like.
In the movie, she got the restaurant. You see Mama in the restaurant, like, successes.
Miriam's mom bought her an LLC for her, like, 16th birthday.
What?
That's some stuff that I like, that same level mom stuff, right? As
Eudora?
Eudora. Yeah. It's the same level. Like you just like fully support your baby's dream and like invest in it for her.
Yeah,
that's next level parenting. That's breaking generational curses type shit.
Oh yeah, and that's exactly what we're trying to do. And then number 1, Trudy Proud.
Trudy Proud.
I
completely enough said, man. She's the queen.
She is.
I think you darn near inspired me to switch my 1 and 2.
Look at
I mean, and I only say that because like. Black mama's got to be black and a mama at the same time, exactly. And that is hard.
Like it's hard to be a black person in America, but it's even harder to be a black woman in America.
I mean, we know that black women are the most discriminated against social group. Like you know it, like demographic, you know it.
Yep.
And I mean,
they say we as a people have to get twice as hard. We have to work twice as hard to get half as much. They have to work like quadruple as hard
to get half as much.
Yeah,
exactly. What Trudy Proud exemplifies is powering through that adversity and still maintaining a positive disposition.
Oh yeah,
despite it. And I mean, she's a whole grown adult, bro. Like with the challenges of life and all.
They still got 3 kids and a roof over their heads.
Still happy, bro. Like that's hard. And I don't know if people are thinking about it like that, but like maintaining your happiness through life's challenges is not an easy thing to do.
Nope.
Especially as you get older. And I don't think we acknowledge that enough. I don't.
We should.
We should acknowledge it more. Because, I mean, just living life in it itself is a challenge. Right. Especially if you're living it to, you know, be better every single day.
Exactly. But yeah, those are my top 5 best moms. Do we want to continue with the worst moms? Or,
you know, we could run a quick list through the worst moms, and I think that because I don't want to hate
it's like a little
moms
right.
too much because I mean
this is a
dealing with a lot here.
There's also a love mom episode.
Yeah, but I think I've got a really interesting list.
Okay. We can just speed around it, just
just
one or two sentences about why we don't like them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you know Jesse and James from Team Rocket.
Of course.
James's parents. James's mom.
Inform me.
This woman is the type of woman that like put her child in a faraway castle and made him forced him into an arranged marriage.
Princess Fiona, that man,
which ultimately led him to leave and run away and join Team Rocket. That
Princess Fiona, my man.
That
oh
story,
wow.
That story.
Oh,
backstory.
Wow.
There's a whole episode arc in Pokemon that does that.
Wow.
It's really interesting.
Poor James.
Number 4, Caillou's mom. She can go suck a fuck. Cause
language, but yeah, you're right.
Because frankly, the child is a spoiled little brat, and he need to get right with some black mama love. Number 3, Lois Griffin. Terrible mom, terrible wife. She demeans her children on a regular basis, and just as a whole does not support the family as much as her rich as heck grandparents. Like
I said they got money. They can have money.
The Pewter Schmidts. The Pewter
Schmidts got money, man.
They're less than. They're just less than on a regular basis.
Oh my god.
My number 2, Mrs. Cartman.
Ugh.
Yeah. Ugh. I mean, Cartman is who he is. This is a child that literally tried to start a Nazi upbringing in South Park.
This is a man
and she did not do anything about it, and she's a prostitute.
Yeah, the whole town ran through her.
Nothing against sex work and all, but I'm just also saying this, it's not like she hides it from her son or, tries to,
Well, she was ran through like a subway in New York, man. That was bad.
Number 1, on top of that, Timmy's mom.
Hey.
People tried to defend her, and I've seen it.
How, though?
How? Because,
She was a real estate agent.
She would say a few things here or there that would be a redeeming quote.
Where?
But overall, this is a woman that left her child with an evil babysitter, forcing him into a situation where he had to have fairy tale mythical creatures
come and save
him on a regular basis, not just through his childhood, but into adulthood. This man was ill prepared through life so poorly by the Fairly Odd Parents, by his parents, by the babysitter, that he had to end up having fairy godparents as an adult. It doesn't make sense. It's wrong. And
the fact that you were mentally unstable to still believe that you are a 10-year-old when you're in your 30s.
Right.
And you're still able to have these fairy godparents.
Developmentally delayed because of his parents. Wholly. Because they wanted to ignore their child and live their life. Sorry you had a kid.
And his teacher. I mean, Mr. Parker was failing him left and right.
Well, he was traumatic. I mean, his teacher had a whole host of other issues that contributed to this overall problem in the first place. Fairies! Exactly. So that's my list. Sorry. And thank you for letting me go through that quickly.
No, you need it. Yeah. No. But let me speed round through mine real quick. We got Miriam Pataki, Helga's mom from Hey Arnold.
Oh man.
Woo. And I mean, they didn't show it. They showed it in the shows, but they didn't. You knew
alcoholism is alcoholism.
That slushy was not. She did not need a slushy. She needed a drink. She always was drinking. She made alcohol and kept it in that cup.
It was a nice little cocktail.
Oh my God! And
there was,
neglect. How do you know you can't favor children, man? And that's exactly what they did. Both her and the dad. They favored the older sister and ignored Helga throughout the whole series. There was a therapy episode that I saw. Helga went to therapy and was talking about that.
Poor Helga. The girl developed a split personality.
She's in 4th grade,
and she has a split personality.
That's bad.
That's bad.
Number 4, Mom from Futurama.
Yeah,
Straight up.
Easily terrible mother. You know, Professor
Farnsworth
plays a crucial role in her being a terrible mother.
Yeah, but also,
but she also, I mean, she's a cigarette smoking, like drinking, like
abusing her children,
like beats her kids on like through their adult.
I mean, and they full adults still following her. Yes, mother, we'll do this for you.
I mean, like,
smack, like real
arguably,
quick.
like, you know, their special needs too. So I mean, like, and she's just the worst.
Well, especially the one that's actually Farnsworth's kid.
Yes, yes, that's well established in the show.
Oh, poor kid. He's smarter than he looks, though.
Yeah.
Thanks, animation. Number 3, and this is still crossing over to the movie territory.
What you got?
All of the evil stepmothers from Disney.
You know, Cinderella's stepmother was the worst. Though.
Lady Tremaine, oh my God.
The worst.
She was like, yeah, you finna stay in this attic. Her name is not Cinderella. Her name is Ella. Her name is Ella.
Her name is Ella, but you know why they call her Cinderella?
Because
she's dusty.
Exactly.
Because they think she dusty.
Because they made her clean up the cinders and the ashes from the fireplace. They were like, oh, it's Cinderella.
Like they straight up she made that nickname.
If you could see the look on my face right now. Number 2.
They were savage. They were brutal.
Man, terrible. Number 2, Lois Griffin.
Easy.
Enough said. And number
1,
Timmy's mom.
I mean,
this woman is a real estate agent that gives no F's about her child. And her and dad are off gallivanting in Dimsdale, doing whatever they want to do, leaving this child to be tormented by Vicky, having to have mythical creatures come and save his life from turmoil. Terrible.
You know, it's like, you know, it's not like that she was like a teenage pregnant mom. You know,
no.
It's not like that she.
These are both parents. Both parents are like
professional.
Yes,
like,
he was. I mean, he was. That's funny. His dad was a pencil pusher that worked at a pencil company. That was his job, was a pencil pusher.
Yes.
Hilarious. But then you had the mom who was a real estate agent.
Like she had a legitimately
they both had legitimate
jobs.
Yeah, they both got their education to have these jobs.
I mean, they met at college, right? Like that was like a big part of it.
Yeah. I mean.
No, she was Timmy's mom is, in my opinion, and I think Blerd Survival Guide's opinion, hands down the worst mom. I mean, on cartoons, and people like act like that they can defend her and like she held it down for the fam. No,
not redeemable.
No, dude,
not redeemable at all.
Not redeemable at all.
No. But yeah, that's how we feel. Again, happy Mother's Day. A little switch up again. But no, we do love our moms. We love our mother figures that are in our lives. And we're going to take a quick break. You're going to hear a word from our sponsor, and then we will be right back with the weekly blurb. All right, guys, we will see you in a minute. Hey guys, it's Jeremy here to talk to you about Anchor, the free podcast tool that you all need. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, like I said, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your computer or your phone. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. And it's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. So guys, go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm on your computer to get started. And we're back, and you know what time it is? It's time for the weekly blurb. All right, Jay, you want to go first, or you want?
I've gone first the last 7 weeks, so you get to go first this time, buddy.
My turn.
Your turn.
All right, cool. So my weekly blurb for this week, we have set photos for the upcoming season of The Flash, or if you're not already into the season.
If you haven't given up on the show yet.
Yeah. Have you given up on it?
How about that?
Oh. I still like it. It has it's getting its low points, but hopefully with the addition of this new cast member, Jordan Fisher,
Birmingham native
Jordan Fisher, he has been cast as Impulse, which if you've seen Young Justice, is Bart Allen, and the set photos have been released for his episodes when he starts to come in, and my God, it is the
comic book accuracy.
The comic book accuracy is
of that uniform
on freaking 11.
Oh my god.
If you put it side by side with like the cartoon and the comics, it's literally ripped out of the page. The only difference is that you got Jordan Fisher instead of some white kid.
It's hard to ask for much more than that.
It really is. And I like it. It looks good. Hopefully somewhere down the line before this show ends, which preferably it ends on a high note, but also ends within the next 3 years, because you can only drag so many shows so far.
I mean, like,
because they've gotten to the Flash has gotten to the point where they are caught up with the DC Rebirth comics, which is the most recent run of DC Comics. That's what this season is currently on.
That's a lot of coverage, man.
Exactly.
That's a lot of feelings. That's a lot of time. I mean, like, I'm still honest to God, recovering from like season 4 when Nora, spoiler alert, doesn't exist anymore.
Oh yeah, when she inevitably gets dusted.
Yeah, and you've got Barry and
Iris,
and they're struggling together as a couple. And I mean, I'm just kind of that was taxing for me. And at that point, I was like, I don't know if I can come back to this show,
because season 4 that was the Thinker episode season, wasn't it?
Yeah, Thinker.
Okay, yeah.
Thinker was a lot.
He was a lot, but you still got Cicada, and
I watched part of Cicada
because that's season 5, and then season 6 is Mirror Master.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I just watched. I watched, I think, half of Cicada, and I was just at that point done. And I mean, I just couldn't. I couldn't keep it up.
We'll catch you on the crossover.
Yeah,
it's okay.
Exactly. Yeah, catch me on the crossover, bro. Catch me on the crossover.
But no, it's for those who are still sticking in with us, or sticking in with the Flash, with myself, and I'm watching this purely. That was honestly out of the CW DC Arrowverse shows. That's my favorite out of the shows that are currently existing. Even when Arrow is still existing, that was still my favorite.
That I don't blame you for.
Yeah.
I will never blame you for Flash being your favorite CW DC universe.
I mean, like not even low key. He's my favorite, and this is a whole other episode in itself. Just like DC, period, which we should do soon. He is my favorite DC hero. Not Batman, not Superman.
Flash.
Not none of the big 3, big 5, whatever. It's Flash, and it's varying Flashes, like either Wally West, because he's the more comedic type, or Barry Allen, who is the OG Flash, or the original of this iteration. Yeah, because you got Jay Garrick and all of them and stuff like that.
Yeah, but we can talk about all that.
Yeah, but no, this is my favorite. Like I said, this show is my favorite out of the CW TV shows.
I recommend it if you want to get into the CW DC universe. I think the Flash shows are the best.
Yeah, and it's.
I mean, because it's family friendly, it's fun. It's comic book accurate to a point,
right?
And it's got some great talent in the show.
It does, and I mean,
especially in the original, like a few seasons, like they really.
Cisco's my boy,
man,
and unfortunately, that's some more
returning.
Yeah, that's some more on the Blerd. It was after season 7. He is done. He and Harrison Wells, they are both done after season 7. They are not returning. If there is a season 8, which they have been renewed for a season 8. But like I said, the set photos. But I mean, Chester P. Ronk. Oh, you haven't met Chester P. Ronk. He's basically he's gonna be the replacement for Cisco, and he's funny, and he was a black guy.
Okay,
he's a black. This is a black man. It's gonna be in Star Labs. But yeah, back to the set photos. Jordan Fisher looks hella good in the suit. It's comic accurate, and if you're still hanging on to the Flash train with me, stick around, because it looks like they're about to pick back up on something.
It's gonna be a fun one.
Right.
Gonna be a fun one.
Yeah. But that is my weekly blurb. Jay, what you got for us?
So, I am excited to talk to folks about a new cartoon, and I've been talking to you about it, and I don't think I did it last week. No, I don't think I did my blurb on it last week either. Or I think we've just talked about it so much that I feel like I've talked about it on the show, but I haven't. Arlo the Alligator Boy.
Oh yeah, I watched it recently.
It's a Netflix original show directed by Ryan Crago.
It's a movie.
Yeah, it's a movie, and oh my god, it reminds me so much of the animation style of Gravity Falls, Amazing World of Gumball, as well as Craig of the Creek. And then like the animation rigging is a lot, and like the motions are very similar to Amazing World of Gumball. But it's a story about this little alligator boy who, originally born in New York, by way of a wicker basket similar to Moses, ends up in
Prince of Egypt,
exactly
in the Bible,
in Louisiana, and is raised by this Bayou woman named Edme, and by his 15th birthday and 42 days is told that he is not actually an alligator from the Bayou, Louisiana. He is from New York, and like it's got some music in it. It's got some genuine black boy joy.
It's a full musical. I mean, it's the music is. He got bops. I saved that whole album on my Spotify. Like
right? It's a fun
whoever
movie,
produced
man.
the music for this movie, like,
and then the animation is so good. It's so pretty.
So you know what that style? You know what that style of art is called? It's called the Cal Art style. It's based out of that college. Which that's a whole other like small little spiel. The Cal Art style, it changes every generation or so.
Okay.
So different cartoons, or a whole bunch of cartoons, whether it be on Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, Netflix with Arlo the Alligator Boy, they're going to look similar because that's a lot of the big animators that come out of the Cal Arts program.
Okay.
They have learned this specific style.
What?
Exactly.
No, I did not know
because you'll
that.
see, because I mean that's how it looks on like the heads. The heads kind of look almost pear-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and stuff like that. That's
okay.
If you go to like Steven Universe, like
their
heads are shaped like that. Like I said, Arlo the Alligator Boy.
So that's why like cartoons that are coming out like on major networks are really looking in the similar.
Right, they all look similar. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, because it's like I said, it's called the Cal Arts form.
I had never known that. You taught me something new about but it is. But like, I just want people to know that like, if you watch this cartoon, it's got something for everybody in it, man.
It really does.
Not just a kid's cartoon. It really does. It tells a wonderful story of a boy looking for his dad, trying to find meaning, trying to build a family, and he goes on this adventure, and he accumulates all of these people that as he travels from Louisiana back to New York, and ultimately, like, he really creates what he was looking for all along, you know, and that's the story of it all, because it's so profound, but it's also a very common story, but it's also like a really cool way to tell this story in a new format, in a new setting.
Right. And
I really just enjoy. I watched it a little bit this morning with my cousin, who's in animation school at Sanford, and I'm like, "Hey, have you seen this?" Because like I'm really stoked on it, and I mean it's so prettily done. It's so just I can't talk about it enough because I think that a lot of people that if you don't typically like cartoons are going to really like this story. It's also got Jonathan Van Ness in it, if that pulls you toward
that. Surprised me.
Right?
It was funny because it was like, who's this lady? And I looked up the cast. It's not a lady. It's Jonathan Van Ness.
I mean, and he really like animated his voice even more so than what it actually is.
And I don't want to spoil it, but did you see the Jonathan Van Ness cameo in New York?
Yes. Yes. I
laughed.
They literally went into his studio. It was freaking hilarious.
I would like a blowout. And it was like,
oh my gosh! And then the things happen. I mean,
yes.
I think my favorite part of the cartoon is as he's like traveling back from New York. Traveling back to New York. He's starting to experience parts of the world, and he climbs in this.
That's the thing. He's experiencing the world for the first
time,
yeah.
Right? He's 15 and he's experiencing the world for the first time. He climbs into a mailbox and he goes, "Is this one of them mobile homes?"
This is my home now.
I like it. And this whole thing, I like it thing, it's like he's just got the most jaded view of the world. Like, he just loves everything. Like, the people that jump out of the car that are genuinely freaked out by him.
Take my car.
And he's like, oh, they're so nice. Oh, land boat,
go.
And it just shifts into neutral, and then just chaos ensues. It's one of those. It's got a lot of those tropey comedic cartoony things that are historically funny in a lot of old cartoons. And I fully endorse this movie. And if people want to check it out, it's on Netflix. It's called Arlo the Alligator Boy.
Well, that was awesome. That was a good episode. Again, happy Mother's Day for those
Mother's Day to everybody.
Yes, for those who are listening in the past. And for our future listeners, this is 2 days later. We will see you Tuesday. Remember to follow us on all of our social media outlets at Facebook at Blerd Survival Guide, Twitter at Blerd Guide, Instagram at Blerd Survival Guide, and email us at blerdsurvivalguide@gmail.com. And other than that, keep surviving, everybody.
Keep surviving, everybody.
Listen to the theme song.
Two guys in a mic with our producer. Step into the spotlight, survivalist troopers. Come and take a seat with the combo we provide every Tuesday. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.
It's the Blerd Survival Guide. It's the Blerd Survival Guide.